All right, kids, now how about we do some scripture readings from the Book of Mormon?
The pod.
A great price.
The pod.
A great price. A great price.
The pod.
A great price.
Hello, 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 one and all,
What?
ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, y'all? Hey, howdy, hey! It's our first ep. Oh my God,
Episode
guys,
0,
welcome.
baby.
Welcome. It's episode 0, as they say in the podcasting world, to kind of get the fans acquainted with what we're about. Welcome to the Pod of Great Price, everybody. My name is
Welcome.
Chris Jessup, and I am joined by my co-host. And he's my co-host, and I'm his co-host. I feel like that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I think that's a good way. I don't want to be anyone's co-pilot. I like to think that we're both piloting.
Yeah,
And
it's like it's a required. It's like
Yeah.
the nuclear launch thing. 2 keys at once, at the same
Yeah.
time.
Daft Punk
that
didn't have a co-DJ. They were just Daft Punk. And that's
Yeah.
how I feel like we're going to be. But anyway,
Exactly.
why are we here this evening? It's a lovely evening, as you can see behind me. The stars are glowing. We have the fire just keeping us warm.
Fire burning bright.
Why are we here?
You know, the Pot of Great Price, folks, is a brainchild of both of us to kind of maybe dispel some rumors, maybe shine some light on, maybe, you know, the fire is a very great motif for this, because what was fire used for, right? Showing light in the darkness back in the day to quell some fear, so to speak.
You got there.
And
That was a really good walking around, but you got there. That was
yeah,
lovely.
and so I think that with us, the intention of the Pot of Great Price, we are trying to show the folks out there what is exactly in the Book of Mormon.
That's all we really want to know. That's
Really
all we
wanna know.
really, really want to know. We just
And-
all we want to do is to sit by the fire with you and read from, in my opinion, the greatest book ever. Now, I've actually never read the Book of Mormon, Christopher.
And that's something that's kind of fun about this show, is because I am steeped in Mormon doctrine due to my past. Grew up in polygamy. If you are a listener of the podcast Polygonometry, welcome over to the new rendition of me, kind of like, trying
ran
to do
out with-
something creative.
We kind of ran out of family members that were willing to carry on participating. So,
Well, there was that, and also too, like, my schedule kind of changed and life happened, and there was a lot of things that kind of went in between that stuff. But hey, we're doing something different now,
in a
and
time
I'm
of
excited about it.
uncertainty- In a time of uncertainty, where to turn to other than the Book of Mormon? Now,
Exactly.
I have never read the Book of Mormon. Not only I've never read the Bible. I've never read the Quran. I've read a little bit of Dianetics, but that's because they nearly got me. No, never. Diagnostics. I even got that fucking wrong. Take that, dickhead. We're how long in, and we're going down the shitter. I've never read anything. I'm dyslexic. I can't even read. So I kind of feel like if anyone is going to eternal hell and burning in salvation, it's probably me. So I think if there's in my heart, if there is a religion that have just nailed it, it's the Mormons. In my
Mormons
opinion.
really have taken what religion can be and morphed it into something really kind of cool.
Kind of singing in the rainy.
Yes, exactly. It's the singing in the rain of religion, for sure. Like,
Without a doubt.
it's
Great
all
musical.
about, showing good face. It's about transitioning into something greater than what you expected your life to be, right? There's moments that'll make you laugh, right? It's gonna be a great time. So basically, here's the structure of the show. It's gonna be one episode, one chapter. Simple, simple. Keeping it simple. There are grand total of 239 chapters in the Book of Mormon. We got content out the wazoo, right? And
There's a lot. It's going to take us a long time.
And I want to say this:
And it,
there will be spots and chapters in this endeavor that will be tough to get through, due to just how it's written, and it's written. Well, we'll figure out who it's written by in a minute, but there's a lot of there's a lot of biblical kind of Shakespearean lifting of sacred text type of vernacular and sentence structure and everything, and I'm going to do my best to make it through there. And I've read the Book of Mormon before. This will be, we're getting into almost double digits here because I was really into it for a bit. And I will say this, though.
really into it.
I was into it, but I will say this. I don't know if I was actually really consuming it. Maybe I was just looking at the words real good instead of reading it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Just not really digesting it as much, which is what I'm looking for right here. I do think that from what I've gathered through my extensive knowledge of Mormons, which is every South Park episode ever made, the Book of Mormon twice on stage, and talking to you.
Okay.
I've done pretty much everything. I watched a bunch of documentaries, pretty much everything, apart from actually read the thing.
There's going to be, depending on what we have available to us financially, we might be able to get a subscription to Living Scriptures, and then that way we can watch the church-sanctioned animated shorts that go along with.
Maybe that'll be a
stories in the Book of
Patreon
Mormon.
sort of deal.
Maybe
if
it
you
could
like
be.
this shit.
Maybe
If you don't, fuck it. It won't happen.
So, and you might be thinking, well, which Book of Mormon are you going to be reading from? To keep things nice and simple, we are going straight from the church themselves, the Church of Jesus Christ.org. So, we're going to be pulling straight from the church's page here. We have, this is the title page. You just want to get into it? You want to just jump in? Are you ready?
We're just going to jump in. This episode right now is just going to be, we're just going to be going through the introduction, laying the base, so we know what we're going to prepare for.
Getting through it. Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Alrighty. So this is the title page here. You can see that it's published by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. First English edition published in Palmyra, New York, USA in 1830. That's when it first started. This is copyrighted in 2013 by the Intellectual Reserve Incorporated. I don't know if that's a Mormon entity or not.
We are 5 years off the 200-year anniversary.
That's great.
We're
That's
getting
awesome.
close.
We're getting there.
It's a really old religion.
It really
of all
is.
the religions, that's so ancient.
And that's how you know.
100 years?
It's getting there. It's getting up there in age when it comes to religions. It's kind of getting a little frosty near the temples. That's kind of how it's looking right now.
Buying a sport car.
Driving a sports car, still good at arm wrestling, right?
Still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, kind of showing some weakness a little bit. Not much, but, he's seeing some... If he really bared down, he'd win kind of idea.
Yeah, but also that kind of guy that tells you, not only do I have a Ferrari in my garage, I have 7.
There you go. Yes, exactly. He's a successful dentist. Yeah.
He's a successful dentist and superhero.
Yeah.
Part-time. Just when he's off.
When he's off, on his off
when
days.
When he's chilling. When he's trying to relax.
Yeah.
Solving
when
crime.
He's trying to take the edge off. That's his drug, is helping the lesser.
Oh, dude, we're going straight to Mormon heaven after this. And I do think that if you carry on this series and you are with us from chapter to chapter, you don't actually need to read it. You can just listen to us.
Listen to us.
The same
and you know what?
We're an audiobook.
We're not getting a single dime.
Nothing.
Not a single dime from the church. And that's how you know we're genuine.
Yeah. But I don't think we're going to get in trouble with the church because we're just getting the message out there.
We're
all
doing
we're
the
doing.
missionary work for you guys. We're
What we're doing,
basically the missionary podcast.
we are bringing missionary work from 200 years ago to today via podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I actually have a. Do you know what? Actually, before we start, I bought a little thing a couple of years ago. Chris and I went to Salt Lake City. I bought this. You can think of this as you and I.
Oh, yeah. Missionary action figures. Yeah, dude. That was in the
Still
the
haven't
gift
read
shop.
the book though, so I am excited. But anyway,
Dude.
let's crack on and let's have a look at this introduction.
All right, so the Book of Mormon, an account written by the hand of Mormon upon plates taken from the plates of Nephi. So, Mormon. I love it. This is account written by the hand of Mormon. That means that Mormon wrote it. I didn't know that when I was a kid. I took things very literally. So I was like, okay, so like there was like this disembodied hand that kind of like chiseled its way with these plates. And I was like, man, this is mythical stuff. This is pretty
That is
good.
pretty Thing from Adam's Family.
Yes, exactly. The same kind of idea.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. I completely get why your head went there. But also, just starting off already, something that shows my actual lack of knowledge. There was a man called Mormon.
Yes.
I thought Mormon was the religion. I didn't know there was
No.
a person
It's
named Mormon.
after. Yeah, that's why it's called the Book of Mormon. So, like, you know how in, like, they mention it in the play, but they mention, like, the Book of Nephi?
Yeah.
So Nephi is the guy who wrote the Book of Nephi, but the Book of Nephi is just one of the books in the Book of Mormon. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen here, we have, like, 1st and 2nd Nephi, Jacob, Omni. Here's Words of Mormon right here. That's, like, his literal stuff. And then we also have another one down here. Like, we got a lot to go through.
We're going to find all about our friend Mormon.
Yeah. All right. Wherefore, it is an abridgment of the record of the people of Nephi and also of the Lamanites, written to the Lamanites, who are a remnant of the house of Israel, and also to Jew and Gentile, written by way of commandment and
Capital
also
J.
by the Spirit. Yeah, capital J. Jew with a capital J, and Gentile with a capital G. Written by way of commandment and also by the spirit of prophecy and of revelation, written and sealed up and hid up unto the Lord, that they may not be destroyed, to come forth by the gift and power of God unto the interpretation thereof, sealed by the hand of Moroni. So Moroni is the guy at the top of the temple, right? When you go to a Mormon church, or sorry, not a Mormon church, but a Mormon temple rather, most of them have the gold statue with like the trumpet. The guy with the trumpet is Moroni. That's what he is. So that's him referenced here. It's not pronounced Moroni, unfortunately. I'm so sorry.
Not like macaroni.
No,
Moroni
so-
macaroni.
Yeah, no Moroni macaroni.
Is Italian. Moroni's Italian counterpart.
Moroni is
Hey,
that's
Joe.
Hey, yo, Joe,
Get
this
your
shit,
head.
eh? Hey, no, come on over. We'll make you some Moroni.
There's gold in the garden.
Okay. And to come forth in due time by way of the Gentile, and that's referencing basically from what I know. And by the way, before I get started with all of this, I will say that I'm going to be doing a lot of loose reaching back into what I was taught to kind of give context to all of this stuff for you.
Thank you.
And if you have questions, of course, just let me know, and I'll do what I can. And I'm
I'm sure I'm gonna have.
there's
so
going to be
many.
people who watch this that are members of the church who are like, you got that so wrong. And you know what? That's great.
We don't
Engage
care.
in the comments. Share, like, and share. How about that?
Like and share. Just tell the people. Like, just
if we're
what a
wrong,
stupid
correct
take.
us.
Correct us. Join us. If there's a particular chapter or verse coming up at some point, let us know. Jump on, read it with us, brother. Answer our
Yeah.
questions.
Exactly.
We
You'll
want
know
to
exactly
do
which
it.
ones we're doing next. So read along with. All right. An abridgment taken from the Book of Ether also, which is a record of the people of Jared, who were scattered at the time the Lord confounded the language of the people when they were building a tower to get to heaven. That's the Tower of Babel or Tower of Babel story that you might have heard of. Have you heard of that story?
I have not heard of that story. Give us a very loose. a very loose 10-second boom.
Okay.
Avatar is about blue aliens saving a tree.
Okay. The Tower of Babel was when before the Tower of Babel, everybody spoke the same language. Then after the Tower of Babel, everybody
probably.
spoke different languages, and that's why they have different languages.
Not
that's
for
a
much
really
longer.
quick. Oh
Am I
man,
right?
that's so truncated. There's going to be people who are like,
No.
Okay. All right. Who were scattered at the time the Lord founded the language of the people, tower to get to heaven, which is to show unto the remnant of the house of Israel what great things the Lord hath done for their fathers, and that they may know the covenants of the Lord, that they are not cast off forever. And also the convincing of the Jew and Gentile that Jesus is the Christ, the eternal God, manifesting himself unto all nations. And now if there are faults, they are the mistakes of men. Wherefore condemn not the things of God, that ye may be found spotless at the judgment seat of Christ. Translated by Joseph Smith, Jr.
Chris, I'm really starting to regret this fucking idea.
What? Why? We
I
haven't
didn't
even
understand a fucking word of
started.
that.
We haven't even gotten. You haven't picked up your fork yet. Like
I'm excited. I know that it's basically so far what I've got is that this book contains great goodness.
you got it. You got it. It's
That's all you need to know.
yeah. That's kind of where it all kind of comes down. This is explaining like what the Book of Mormon is in so many words. In so many words.
In too many.
In
too many words.
This is what, and okay. If you have questions, like this is what helps with both of us having ADHD, is that we'll be able to like jump in and just go on some tangents to kind of break up the monotony of how many words are used to describe things in the Book of Mormon. It's going to be a lot. So I just want to let you know that you need to put in some effort to put in your seatbelt by yourself on this one. You know what I mean?
I am. I'm fully strapped in. I've
Okay.
got my fire burning.
Cool.
I'm warm.
Yeah. So this is basically this page is intended to say this is what the Book of Mormon's about, and also too at the very end, the convincing of the Jew and Gentile that Jesus is the Christ, and these are in capital letters here, folks. Jesus, capital, is the Christ, and Christ is all
the
in capital.
Christ.
And
Jesus,
the eternal God.
Jesus or Christ. Jesus of Christ.
Jesus of Christ
Well,
is
if
the
it isn't
eternal
Jesus
God.
or Christ, get back into your barn.
Manifesting himself unto all nations. And I don't know if you've ever manifested yourself unto nations, but it sounds like maybe a Louis C.K. situation. I'm not accusing anybody.
No, of course not. We're not accusing.
I'm not accusing. I'm just Venn diagram that exists. Bang. You know what I mean?
Venn diagrams exist,
Exactly.
and we're
Okay.
grateful for them.
So you saw the title page, and then now we have the introduction. So,
Let's go. Words.
all right. The Book of Mormon is a volume of Holy Scripture comparable to the Bible. It is a record of God's dealings with ancient inhabitants of the Americas and contains the fullness of the everlasting gospel.
That's beautiful.
Bang.
I feel like that was good. I feel like that was a good A to B.
Yeah, very solid.
They
2
can-
sentences long.
They
Easy
can leave
peasy.
it there. Thank you very much for tuning in this week.
Thank you,
to
guys.
this,
That is our
What a Great
episode
Price.
0.
Oh shit! I think I believe there might be more.
Yes,
More
there
describing.
is. Yes, indeed. The book was written by many ancient prophets by the spirit of prophecy and revelation. Their words, written on gold plates, were quoted and abridged by a prophet historian named Mormon. Mormon.
Hang on, wait. I got wait.
Perfect. One came from Jerusalem. One came from Jerusalem in 600 BC, and afterwards separated into 2 nations known as the Nephites and the Lamanites. The other came much earlier when the Lord confounded the tongues at the Tower of Babel. I don't know which exactly is the one. I said Babel growing up, but I feel like that's wrong. babble makes sense because it's like babbling language. I don't know if that's true or not, but
That does make more sense.
this group is known as the Jaredites. After thousands of years, all were destroyed except the Lamanites, and they are among the ancestors of American Indians. So there you go. Native blood, the origin of the natives. Exactly right.
Wow, I've always
Lamanites.
wanted. I thought Prey was a pretty good
Prey's good.
version of origin story, but dude, I mean, if the Mormons got it covered, then
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna trust
when-
that.
So in Mormonism, you see a Native American, you go, Lamanite blood. That's what you think.
Lamanites are the good guys, right?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Uh-oh.
The crowning event recorded in the Book of Mormon is the personal ministry of the Lord Jesus Christ among the Nephites soon after his resurrection. The big JC makes an appearance in the Book of Mormon.
Cameo.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Best believe that. It's going to
The
be
big
sweet.
JC
The big JC.
walking on waters.
Oh yeah. It puts forth the doctrines of the gospel, outlines the plan of salvation, and tells men what they must do to gain peace in this life and eternal salvation in the life to come. So there you go.
To
Great
become
message.
what? In their life to become.
To gain peace.
To gain peace.
To gain peace. Yeah, to gain peace in this life and gain peace in this life and eternal salvation in the life to come. So they're speaking post-death. This is the best way to go about it if you want to secure what we got going on for you post-death. You know what I mean?
Post-death. Okay.
Yeah.
So really need to be paying attention because that's forever.
Yeah, that is the rest of forever and that concept. So make sure you're choosing right. Make sure you're choosing the right. Make sure you're choosing the right.
The far right.
After Mormon completed his writings, he delivered the account to his son Moroni, who added a few words of his own and hid up the plates in the hill Cumorah. On September 21st, 1823, the same Moroni, then a glorified resurrected being, appeared to the prophet Joseph Smith and instructed him relative to the ancient record and its destined translation into the English language. So Moroni, the reason why he's kind of like the guy who calls everybody with his trumpet, is that he was the one who asked Joseph to bring this text, this tome to contemporary knowledge.
A Moroni angel.
Moroni is a glorified resurrected angel. Yes.
A resurrected. Was he a person? Was he a man
Yes.
before?
Yes, he was a man,
was.
according to them. But yes,
Do we get backstory about Moroni?
we'll get to know Moroni later on. But yes.
Buzzing. In my head, so now again, this is just I know the very, very basic story of Mormonism, which obviously I know about Joseph Smith, and the fact that he was visited by an angel who told him exactly where to go and dig the plates. Now, that encounter in my head looks exactly the same as Empire Strikes Back when Luke is on Hoth dying and Obi-Wan's ghost.
Oh,
You will go to Dagobah.
You are so close. You're right on the money. You're really nailing it. Honestly, like that's
exactly how I picture it.
That's really close. And we really do need to get a subscription to Living Scriptures because you'll love it, dude. You'll love it. Because here's what I'm thinking for this podcast.
Okay.
We do it, we read it, we do the clips and all that stuff, and it's gonna be fun. But I do think that the Patreon episode is us watching Living Scriptures and doing a commentary because that shit is so funny. It's so crazy that was dude, this is so funny. Little backstory about Living Scriptures really quick is that we watched it on Sundays and that was the only day we were kind of like it wasn't like you weren't allowed to watch it on other days, of course, but like we only ever watched it on Sundays and we counted that as like studying the scriptures, you know?
Why wouldn't you? Like, it makes complete sense. And that is also my thinking for this podcast.
Exactly.
Right?
This is the audio version of the podcasting version, I guess, of Living Scriptures. So,
Yes. It's exactly that.
So yeah. All right. The Book of Mormon basically is a plan of salvation and tells you what to do to gain peace in this life and the next one. After Mormon completed his writings, he delivered the account of his son Moroni. Okay, did the Moroni stuff. In due course, the plates were delivered to Joseph Smith, who translated them by the gift and power of God. The record is now published in many languages and as a new and additional witness that Jesus Christ is the Son of the living God, and that all who will come unto him and obey the laws and ordinances of his gospel may be saved.
May be saved. It's not guaranteed. But
Yeah,
you
but
might.
it doesn't say maybe like it's two separate words, may be. It's kind of like giving permission in a way.
You
I
may
think.
be.
You may be saved now.
Okay. You may sit down.
Very
You may
very much
have
like
my wife.
permission based on that, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like very power trippy out the gate,
Makes sense.
Concerning this record, the prophet Joseph Smith said, quote, I told the brethren that the Book of Mormon was the most correct of any book on earth and the keystone of our religion, and a man would get nearer to God by abiding by its precepts than by any other book.
Now,
So,
the truest book on earth so far, at that point.
the most correct of any book on earth.
At that point.
At that point. So, I don't know if after 1830...
Have you
Like
not
what-
read Spare by Harry Prince? I couldn't even remember his fucking surname. The ginger one.
Yeah.
Pretty true.
I mean, yeah, there's some science books that I've written and been harshly graded on
wrote
my
them?
knowledge of.
Uh,
And I don't know if I really need those anymore because I got the Book of Mormon,
When you got the Book of Mormon, you have a friend.
Well, exactly.
Exactly.
In addition to Joseph Smith, the Lord provided for 11 others to see the gold plates for themselves and to be special witnesses of the truth and divinity of the Book of Mormon. Their written testimonies are included herewith as the testimony of the 3 witnesses and the testimony of 8 witnesses, which we will get to. We invite all men everywhere to read the Book of Mormon, and that's us. That's what we're doing. Right?
But that's us. Men.
To ponder in
Just
their hearts.
men.
Just
Only men, okay?
Men. We invite all men.
Men. We're talking about
Men.
eternal salvation. Who do you want
Men.
to spend the rest of eternity with? Chicks? No, I do.
Men. All men. Very
Men.
very specific. Not inclusive on that one. We need
No.
dudes.
It's just getting
everywhere.
straight to the point. We just need dudes. It's,
If you're a
it's
woman
a
and listening to this
Mulan
podcast.
situation. This is a Mulan situation where
That'd be
That's
so
just-
crazy.
we're not making the rules. We didn't write this. We're reading it.
We're reading it.
We're reading it. With no judgment whatsoever.
No, not at all. We invite all men, specifically, everywhere.
More
to
men. We need more men. You get it? More men?
to everywhere to read the Book of Mormon, to ponder in their hearts the message it contains, and then ask God, the Eternal Father, in the name of Christ, if the book is true. Those who pursue this course and ask in faith will gain a testimony of its truth and divinity by the power of the Holy Ghost.
I think I
Those-
recognize that little bit from the Book of Mormon, right?
Yeah.
I believe.
Hmm.
I swear he quotes that exact bit.
If you ask
See,
in faith, you'll know.
If you ask the Lord in faith. See, I've already done my knowledge from
You
the Book
have-
of Mormon.
You have so much knowledge already.
So I'm so knowledge.
Yeah, you're so knowledge.
I'm just
All right, those who gain this divine witness from the Holy Spirit will also come to know the same power that Jesus Christ is the Savior of the world, that Joseph Smith is his revelator and the prophet in these last days, and that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the Lord's kingdom once again established on the earth, preparatory to the second coming of the Messiah.
so Joseph Smith is the second coming. Is that what it's kind of saying?
Joseph Smith is the main guy. Like we all know, he's not leading the rebellion, but he's the Han Solo.
He's Han. Okay, right. Great. Okay, we're gonna have to now. If anyone's listened to, if anyone has listened to Polygonometry, been over, listened to the episodes what I was on, you will know that I understand life via movies.
Yeah, movie
We
references are
change
really
things.
helpful contextually. It kind of gives it gives the blocks because
It
Fraser
gives the
doesn't know
plot.
that Fraser doesn't know what's going on most of the time. So you
No.
give him the blocks, and he's like, "Oh, got it,
Yeah.
got it."
That's all it is. Just like this is a no. This is an Ocean's 11 type situation. Boom. I already know I'm Brad Pitt, so I just
Yep.
just go from that, and then we're in action. But it will help. So far, there's a lot of Star Wars. There's a lot of Star Wars going on, and we're just
Yes.
in the introduction.
Exactly.
We had the Obi-Wan analogy. Han, like him. Um, I, this is going to be easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We'll get around to it. We'll be able to make some. We'll be able to get some frames for you. So okay, next up is the testimony of the three witnesses. So there are a bunch of people that are able to see the golden plates, right? And this is their testimony of that. This is their written account, signed, all that of what they saw, what they experienced, and all that. So
Okay.
the testimony of three witnesses. Be it known unto all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people, unto whom this work shall come, that we, through the grace of God the Father and our Lord Jesus Christ, have seen the plates which contain this record, which is a record of the people of Nephi and also of the Lamanites, their brethren, and also the people of Jared, who came from the tower which hath been spoken. We've referenced it twice already, just to make sure. Just to make sure you're understanding. I don't want you to get off track. Okay, it's easy to get off track with this stuff, but we want to make sure that you're on the road. So that's why we referenced the tower for the third time. And we also know that they have been translated by the gift and power of God, for his voice hath declared it unto us. So I heard his voice. Wherefore we know of a surety that the work is true. We also testify that we have seen the engravings which are upon the plates, and that they have been shown unto us by the power of God, and not of man. And we declare with words of soberness that an angel of God came down from heaven, and he brought and laid before our eyes, that we beheld and saw the plates and the engravings thereon. And we know that it is by the grace of God the Father and our Lord Jesus Christ that we beheld and bear record that these things are true. And it is marvelous in our eyes. Nevertheless, the voice of the Lord commanded us that we should bear record of it. Wherefore, to be obedient unto the commandments of God, we bear testimony of these things. And we know that if we are faithful in Christ, we shall rid our garments of the blood of all men, and be found spotless before the judgment seat of Christ, and shall dwell with him eternally in the heavens. And the honor be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Ghost, which is one God. Amen. Oliver Cowdery, David Whitmer, and Martin Harris.
So they saw the plates.
They saw the plates. The plates. The ones that were buried in the hill Cumorah that Joseph found.
Wow. I didn't know that anyone else had saw them. I thought that was like his whole thing.
Yeah, so there's a few. There's a select few.
But we have written testimony, so that's
testimony.
proof. They were real. There's no argument. You got three.
We got 3 guys.
Very smart dudes.
And we also have 8 guys to give a little bit more to the story.
I believe it.
Be it known to all nations, kindred, tongues. This is the testimony of 8 witnesses. Be it known unto all nations, kindreds, tongues, and people, unto whom this work shall come, that Joseph Smith, Jr., the translator of this work, was shown unto us the plates of which hath been spoken, which have the appearance of gold, and as many of the leaves as the. This is so just jumbled so hard. And as many of the leaves as the said Smith has translated, we did handle with our hands. And we also saw the engravings thereon, all of which has the appearance of ancient work, and of curious workmanship. And this we bear record with words of soberness, that the said Smith, just say Joseph Smith, but they're trying to sound, because here's the thing. I mean, maybe I'm a little frustrated because I've been fucking up, but like, this is so dumb to constantly reach back and say said Smith. We know who you're fucking talking about.
Talking about Joseph.
Just
Just
say
my
try.
guy.
Like, we get
Say
it.
my friend, my buddy. I know who you're talking about.
We know who you're talking about. And this we bear record of words with soberness, that the said Smith has shown unto us. For we have seen and hefted, and they hefted him. Yeah, they hefted him. And know of a surety that the said Smith had got the plates of which we have spoken. God damn. Okay, before we move on, look at this sentence. And this we bear, like, what was said? We don't know. And this we bear record with our words of soberness, that he said, he showed them to us, and we saw them, and we know that they're real, and they have spoken of them.
That whole thing is just saying, he said these things, we saw these things, they said the things, we're good.
And we give our names unto the world, to witness unto the world of that which we have seen. And we lie not, God bearing witness of it. That's my favorite sentence so far. Because it's like, and we're not fucking lying, okay?
We're
not
seriously. We promise.
We're guys, we
God.
promise. Like,
God.
I mean, we swear, okay? Like, we swear it.
Look, here. Look. Okay.
You and me. All right. So yeah, this is done by Christian Whitmer, Jacob Whitmer, Peter Whitmer Jr., John Whitmer, Hiram Page, Joseph Smith Sr., Hiram Smith, and Samuel H. Smith. So we see the three witnesses back here, which are Oliver Cowdery, David Whitmer, Martin Harris. The Whitmer family, we saw Christian, Jacob, and Peter Whitmer Jr., and John Whitmer as well. So the Whitmers are in, the Smiths are in. And think of the Lannisters and the
I knew you were
Baratheons.
going to Game of Thrones. I knew you were going to go Game of Thrones.
Bang, right?
Okay.
These aren't,
So we got
and this is not in the same way of like there's like this political intrigue and all that stuff, incest. Well, we'll see, but but these are the main players now in when it comes to this is not Book of Mormon, but this is in Mormonism. Does that make sense?
In Mormonism.
Yes.
So in Mormonism, you have your camps. You got your Schmitz.
You got your Whitmers, you got your Smiths.
Okay. And they are friends?
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
Alliances.
absolutely. Yeah,
That's
alliance.
beautiful.
And so
Beautiful.
now
We can all get along with the Book of Mormon.
exactly. So yeah, we've seen the three witnesses, we've seen the 8 witnesses, and now we have the testimony of the big dog. The testimony of the prophet Joseph Smith. The prophet Joseph Smith's own words about the coming forth of the Book of Mormon are, and I quote, "On the evening of the 21st of September, 1823, I betook myself to prayer and supplication to Almighty God. While I was thus in the act of calling upon God, I discovered a light appearing in my room, which continued to increase until the room was lighter than at noonday, when immediately a personage appeared at my bedside."
A personage.
A personage.
Right. Okay. I might be making myself seem really fucking dumb right here. As far as I'm aware, that ain't a word.
Personage?
Personage.
Let's do a quick little goog.
Personage. It
Personage.
just sounded like what
It
it's
is,
trying to say.
a person often used to express their significance, importance, or elevated status.
Personage.
There you go.
All right,
Nobody
we made our thing
uses
seem
that
fucking
word.
dumb. No one
Nobody's-
use it.
yeah,
If you're using that word, you're a nerd. That's
exactly.
it.
You're a nerd.
Don't try
Total
not
nerd.
to be.
Total nerd.
Total nerd.
All right. Lighter than at noonday. So personage walks in by the bedside, gets real bright. He had on a loose robe of most exquisite whiteness. It was a whiteness beyond anything earthly I had ever seen. nor do I believe that any earthly thing could be made to appear so exceedingly white and brilliant.
I don't like the tone.
What?
I don't
Why?
like how excited they are by the color white there.
What are you talking about? It's exquisite whiteness. The whiteness is exquisite.
Don't I know it, brother?
Oh, wrong haircut to have saying those words.
You can't say that.
I know.
I can
can't.
maybe.
No. I can't. It was a whiteness. Okay, so yeah, he's really harping on how white and brilliant this guy's clothes are. So from the get-go, dude, Mormonism. Okay, this is Mormonism now. Okay, from the get-go, pure, white, clean, make it look fucking nice. You know what I mean? That's what they're going for, right? Because why else would Joe like mention it 3 times in the same sentence?
He wants you to know. It's rule of threes. If he mentions it 3 times...
He gets it, man. He gets it.
You're going to imagine it. So we got white robe. So we've kind of got like a like an Obi-Wan, Gandalf the White crossbreed right now that's glowing. That's Human Torch, flame on.
Yeah, Human Torch, flame on. This personage is like a Force ghost, but like just decked out in the most brilliant white robe.
My God, is it white? In those times as well, in 1823?
1823, yeah.
Okay, so in 1823, something being that white, hard to come by.
Oh, I mean,
everything is just covered in mud and shit.
And also think about this. It was a whiteness beyond anything earthly he had ever seen, and he knows earthly stuff. He's been around.
He's been around.
So he's looking at this whiteness and he's being like, that ain't from here.
No, that ain't right. I mean, I feel like
when you think about it, you take that route of like that news segment where they interview the guy who saw something in the sky. Yeah, no, it was a loose robe of the most exquisite whiteness. It was a whiteness beyond anything earthly I'd ever seen. Nor do I believe anything earthly thing could be made to appear so exceedingly white and brilliant. Like
you forgot to pronounce the H, the white.
Exquisite whiteness. A whiteness beyond anything
we
earthly
didn't
I'd ever
write
seen.
this. We are reading it.
We are reading this. His
just
hands,
so we're covered.
You know what?
Just so we're cool.
I'm going to read this entire paragraph here as that guy. I'm not going to keep this voice up because it might just hurt my throat. But so yeah, I'll continue. His hands were naked, and his arms also, a little above the wrist, and also were his feet naked, as were his legs a little above the ankles. His head and neck were also bare. I could discover that he had no other clothing on but his robe, as it was open, so that I could see into his bosom.
That's actually pretty steamy. Okay,
it's sexy up top.
It's sexy. I mean, it's homoerotic. Was what
it's homoerotic. It's unearthly. It's sexy. Like, how could you not read this and be like, I don't know why I'm feeling this in my trousers right now? Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm kind of chubbing up over here already.
Oh man, when you read it like that farmer that saw something, they just you can't even take it seriously.
It was when you kept repeating about the exquisite whiteness, which was
okay, I guess I'll just keep going with it. All right, I'll just keep going with this character. And this is the testimony of Joseph Smith as spoken by a guy who saw something in the sky. Not only was his robe exceedingly white, but his whole personage was glorious beyond description, and his countenance truly like lightning. The room was exceedingly light, but not also very bright, as immediately around his person. When I first looked upon him, I was afraid, but the fear soon left me. Okay, I'm done. He called me by my name and said unto me that he was a messenger sent from the presence of God to me, and that his name was Moroni, and that God had a work for me to do, and that my name should be had for good and evil among all nations, kindreds, and tongues. or that it should be both good and evil spoken of among all people. So, Angel shows up, called me by my name. His name was Moroni, and he says, I got work for you. It concerns everybody.
Kind of concerns everyone. This is kind of a big deal, Joe.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but you're destined for greatness, Luke.
Hey, Luke, right?
Hey, Joe.
You're destined. Do you not understand something about chosen ones? Apparently it's fucking you.
Did you not know anything about chosen ones? You
Luke
idiot.
Skywalker,
Have you not
Harry
read
Potter,
books before?
Joe.
You dipshit. I love that idea of Moroni giving Joe a lecture on like stereotype, like like story archetypes and like referencing, like, haven't you not read Plato, the Odyssey, Homer, the Iliad? Come on, Joe. And he's kind of Moroni.
You've never seen The Matrix?
But come on, Joe.
Oh, you like me? Oh!
He said there was a book deposited written upon gold plates, giving an account of the former inhabitants of this continent and the source of whence they sprang. Ooh.
Well, currently, the recording of this is currently March. We're coming just into spring.
Just coming into spring. He also said that the fullness of the everlasting gospel was contained in it, as delivered by the Savior to the ancient inhabitants. Also, that there were 2 stones in silver bows, and these stones...
They were 2 stoned?
They're not 2 stoned, but...
Not like me.
But, you know, we don't know yet. We don't know that. And these are 2 stones in silver bows, and these stones fastened to a breastplate constituted what is called the Urim and Thummim. Deposited with the plates, and the possession and use of these stones were what constituted seers in ancient or former times.
The department store.
Yeah, Sears, the department store. They would go to Sears and they would be like, hey, I know you guys got a deal on stones and silver bows. I was just curious. I'm trying to become, an ancient thing. I just trying to look through some stuff. Do you mind?
Oh, what kind of things? What kind of things?
I don't know. I was just reading the flyer and I saw that you guys had these things called the Urim and Thummim. I was just hoping you guys had
we're
some
all
there.
out. We're all out.
You're out?
Yeah, a guy just bought them. Guy just bought them out. Said that he was like the chosen one or some shit.
Chosen one?
Yeah, apparently there's some guy just breaking into like random like teenagers' rooms, in like a robe, trying to rape them, and then if they wake up, he spews some chosen one stuff.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to be weird, but I don't mean to be weird, but was his robe slightly open? You could see inside his bosom.
It didn't happen to me, but from what this guy was crying, bosoms were mentioned. Definitely no underwear. He kept on going on about how white they were and where he would buy such a cleaner product. But it's currently 1823, and we just suggest make it more dirty. And then
that's what I do. That's what I do. That's why I was kind of trying to get that Urim and Thummim idea, because my thummim is stuck up on my Urim. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, right.
I gotta get going. I got thumb in my Urim.
Yeah. Go and keep an eye out for guy wearing too much white. Just stay away from dudes in white hoods in general. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's actually, you know what?
Run the other way.
I'm gonna write that down. That sounds like a good idea. All right.
Write down. You got a bit of gold there. It looks a bit heavy. I ain't got a pen. Here's a chisel. Here's a chisel.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Okay. So the deposit with the plates.
12, Chris.
Thank you.
We're great.
Constituted was the Urim and Thummim, deposited with the plates, and possession and use of these stones were constituted seers in the ancient or former times, and that God had prepared them for the purpose of translating the book. So, when you think about the Urim and Thummim literally, it's like 2 stones in a pair of glasses that kind of come up like antennas from a breastplate, and they come up and they look at stuff through them. That's kind of what it is.
It's the craziest description of anything.
All right, we'll go ahead and give you some picture context here.
No. I like what I'm picturing in my head. I don't want it to change.
Oh, you don't want it to change?
Glasses.
Okay. All right, okay.
Well, so it's stone glasses, is what you're saying?
Yes. Instead of glasses, like glass lenses, you can think of it like stones instead.
Okay.
And like the silver bow is like, you can think of it like my frames on my glasses here. That's what they mean by silver bow.
Right.
But it kind of like comes down and like attaches to the breastplate. And so instead of like putting them on your head, they come up from the breastplate and kind of like look like binoculars almost. I don't know how to describe it. That's like, it's a very loose description.
Okay, so all right, to anyone listening, don't look it up. Draw exactly what's in your head without looking at it.
And
Send
then
it to us.
post the pictures of what you draw on the comment section. That'd be super cool.
We would like to know, and whichever one's the best, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it was. Straight up.
All right, and and we continue. Again, he told me that when I got those plates of which he had spoken, for the time that they should be obtained was not yet fulfilled. So can't get them yet. It's coming. Don't you get too antsy in your pantsy there, Joe. You just wait.
Chill.
Just really tickling. You know what I mean? I should not know them to any person. Or sorry, I should not show them to any person. So you can't show the plates to anybody because now's not the time. Neither the breastplate with the Urim and Thummim, only to those whom I should be commanded to show them. If I did, I should be destroyed. There you go. So
Pretty scary.
Don't tell anybody. Don't show anybody unless I tell you, the person. That's the way it goes. And Joe's like, all right, I'm not. You got me. I'm not gonna. While he was conversing with me about the plates, the vision was opened to my mind that I could see the place where the plates were deposited, and that so clearly and distinctly that I knew the place again when I visited it. So he was shown where the plates are buried via vision.
So far, this is everything that's gone on has taken place in Sears department store.
Yes.
In my head, even without me consciously doing it, everything you were going on after that, fluorescent lightings,
Exceedingly white.
and Al Bundy trying to sell him shoes.
There you go. After this communication, I saw the light in the room begin to gather immediately around the person of him who had been speaking to me. And it continued to do so until the room was again left dark, except just around him, when instantly I saw, as it were, a conduit open right up into heaven, and he ascended till he entirely disappeared, and the room was left as it had been before this heavenly light and made its appearance. So, sitting there, seeing the guy, he's like, okay, this guy's telling me some crazy stuff. He shows me where the plates are. Don't tell anybody. Time's not yet. Also, gotta skedaddle, buddy. Don't mean to be rude, but got a boost. And then portal above opens up, and he just zips up.
Like, beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Wow. And did it, no markings on the roof? Just like
I don't think Joe mentions anything about it exiting through the roof, literally, but there was...
Yeah, you feel like you would mention that if it did, wouldn't you?
Yeah, a conduit.
You'd be like, yeah, look, he gave me the message. He's told me that I'm Keanu Reeves, and he's told me exactly how to do it and where to go to. Like, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's either... Put
a hole in my fucking roof, though.
If it's not Sears, he's at a Circle K. You know what I mean?
He's at a Circle K. Yeah, it's one of the two. And he would throw in there, like, good guy, fucking terrible at leaving a house.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Needs to learn how to use a fucking door, but you know.
Use a door, man. But he says conduit, so I don't know exactly what that means in Joseph's.
I was going to ask what that meant,
context.
but I didn't want to out myself as an absolute idiot. So I was like, yeah, a conduit.
I mean,
that's how I'd leave.
Yeah, especially when you're imbued with, like transdimensional power. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's not as cool as flying, just flying. Or like living forever is kind of cool. Teleporting, I like.
Teleporting is
it will do on terms of the things that you can get. It will do.
I feel like Moroni could probably. Is that his preferred method? Okay, that's too much. I lay musing on the singularity of the scene. Okay. The singularity is another one, like personage. Like, shut up, nerd. Like, no.
As I lay musing on the singularity of the scene,
and marveling greatly at what had been told to me in this extraordinary messenger. Like, shut up.
God,
When in the
all right.
midst, okay, I can't be saying so much blasphemy as "shut up, Joseph Smith" on this podcast. Hey, we're doing missionary work for you. Hey, shut the fuck up, Joe.
We're not even a full ep in yet, and we are blaspheming.
All right. Let's see. When in the midst of my meditation, I suddenly discovered that my room was again beginning to get lighted, and in an instant, as it were, the same heavenly messenger was again by my bedside. So he forgot his keys. He was like, I'm so sorry.
And just one
Just-
more thing.
Just gotta pop back in real quick. So sorry.
Sorry, I know
commenced
we already
it-
said goodbye. You don't have to say goodbye again. Just
Yeah, just
Ignore
sorry. Just
me.
need to nip in. So sorry. He commenced and again related the very same things which he had done at his first visit, without the least variation. Which having done, he informed me of great judgments which were coming upon the earth, with great desolations by famine, sword, and pestilence. And these grievous judgments would come on the earth in this generation. So, going to be happening soon.
someone's going to be coming soon. Coming's happening.
Famine, sword, pestilence, desolations, end of the world.
It's on its way.
Having related these things, he again ascended as he had done before. So he did the exact same thing back to back. No variation, as without the least bit of variation from what Joe says, without the least variation. And like
I think
that,
he probably he kind of blew his beans on the first exit.
maybe, or was it maybe just like a skipped, like a record skip? Maybe. Oh my God. Maybe this was him just leaving his algorithm to play too long.
Maybe.
And then it just kicked back the same video. But it's Moroni telling him that's where the hill is, and that's where you get the place and stuff. Yeah, we gotta buy. Does it again.
And he glitched. He glitched. So
Yeah,
right now,
Moroni glitched,
okay,
baby.
exactly.
Okay.
We've
Sorry,
got
Joe. We
Star
judged too
Wars.
soon. We judged too soon.
We judged too soon. He's got Star Wars. He's also Neo. We've established because I earlier on when Moroni turned up to him and if I want to quote this exactly right, he said, "Joseph Smith, you are Keanu Reeves," right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that is what he
Yes.
said.
No,
Verbatim.
that was in it earlier. Yeah, we saw that
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
introduction. Yeah.
Exactly. So the fact that there's been a little glitch in the Matrix
It's
tracks.
It's all good. You'll
Tracks.
be all right.
Everything's supporting the thing before it. So
Exactly. There's a foundation. There's scaffolding being built. I feel so sure-footed this entire
I feel
time.
so safe.
Same.
With the Book of Mormon.
Same. It's like a warm blanket.
It's like a warm blanket by my warm fire. Family home evening, baby.
Family home evening. By this time, so deep were the impressions made on my mind that sleep had fled from my eyes, and I lay overwhelmed in astonishment at what I had both seen and heard. But what was my surprise when again I beheld the same messenger by my bedside, or at my bedside, and heard him rehearse or repeat over again to me the same things as before, and added a caution to me. Oop. So, he basically got this guy's content, then he got one more type of thing with it. Like an ad
Cool.
read almost. And added a caution to me, telling me that Satan would try to tempt me in consequence of the indignant circumstances.
Oh, wait. Just pause for a second. We just got a mention of the big S.
So, if you guys don't know, Satan, bad guy.
But he's cool.
He is
He's a
cool.
very
He's
cool guy.
always been so cool,
So cool.
So cool. And that's the thing about Satan, man. That's the thing. He's cool as heck, man. He's
The
cool
guy's
as
down
heck.
to party.
Oh yeah. And it's not to say that us having fire behind us means anything about Satan and hell. So doesn't mean anything about that. So I don't know where anybody would get that idea. But okay. So yeah, he comes down and he repeats everything again. So for a third time, Moroni comes in and says, "Hey, this is what you're doing. This is where they're at. This is, you got important work." And also, I know I could have mentioned it the first time, and I know how to do it again, but forgot to tell you that Satan's going to try and tempt you because of the circumstances. So we're talking about Satan trying to tempt Joseph Smith. That was the warning. That was the warning that the angel gave in his third appearance to Joe that night. So we had him once, we had him twice. This is thrice. And he has a little bit more to say about that. Basically, in context, Joe tries to say, like, yeah, Satan would try to tempt me in consequence of the indigent circumstances of my father's family, meaning that indigent circumstances is that they're poor. And that's kind of the deal. To get the plates for the purpose of getting rich. So basically, Satan's going to try and tempt you to take these golden plates to become rich off of them, but no. There's a purpose to these golden plates, right? We don't want you to start thinking that you can make a quick buck.
Joseph, think of yourself as Eve, okay? Think of yourself as Eve.
Perfect
these are apples,
analogy.
golden apples.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat them.
Don't eat them.
Share them. They're yours.
Yeah.
To be looked at, read by you. Move on.
Exactly.
Go about the next thing. I mean, spread the news about them. We've gone through all this effort, burying them, laying the groundwork. We had to invest in the portal technology.
They had to hire a
Utilize
contractor.
this shit. We had to go through contractors, Joe. Okay.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like red tape that they had to go through to get this hole dug. You know, makes sense.
I mean, and you got to do that. You know, no one's supposed to know about it. You think no one's walking their dog.
And also, what's worth more, the price that we paid for all that, or eternal salvation? Think about that, Joe. Think about that. He forbade me, saying that I must have no other object in view in getting the plates but to glorify God, and must not be influenced by any other motive than that of building his kingdom. Otherwise, I would not get them, or I could not get them. So he's saying here, like, guys, I wouldn't even be able to get them if I was thinking of getting rich off this. Like, he forbade me. Like, he said to me, it's funny that you bring that up. It's funny that you bring that up, that I would try to get rich off this, because I tell you what, I'm not trying to make a quick buck off these golden plates of solid gold. Like
solid gold. Yeah,
I'm not trying to make any sort of. I have work to do, guys. Like, leave me alone. Like,
I mean, I've got my word is my payment.
Exactly.
So I get my living. You guys like your plates, you know, silver, gold, metallic bronze, you know? Mm-hmm. Mine are gold. Don't worry about it. You know, I've got it. I don't need to show you. Just I have them.
I have them.
I have them. It's like if you had an original Boba Fett doll, the one that shot the rocket.
Yeah.
You're just going to tell people. You're not going to show them. That lives at home. You don't see that.
You don't bring it around with you.
You don't touch it. I don't carry it around. No. This is mine.
Why would I take it around with me and tell you about it? Like, so dumb. Anyway, after this third visit, he again ascended into heaven as before. So, portal's back, right? And I was again left to ponder on the strangeness of what I had just experienced. When almost
it is strange. It's strange. It's good that he's at least acknowledging that.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to that guy who's sitting in the field with his rake, talking to the guy on the camera crew, being like, "Oh, it was strange. I had to ponder the strangeness of what I had just experienced."
Now you mention it, it was a bit strange. This person's ascending from the heavens. Exactly. It was about that, and I didn't even think about it till right now. That was strange.
So he's acknowledging that it's strange. And he goes on to continue here. When almost immediately after the heavenly messenger had ascended from me for the third time, the cock crowed, and I found that day was approaching, so that our interviews must have occupied the whole of that night.
So I believe we have our first rude word?
It could be considered the first rude word in the Book of Mormon, which...
cock. It's a solid one. It's good,
yeah,
versatile.
It's a good solid one to have. If you're coming out the
solid
gate,
one. Yeah, because you can also you can just get by claiming that it's about a chicken. That excuse has never worked.
Sure, never has, never will, but that's okay.
worth
We
trying.
always admire the effort, though. You know what I mean? We're
Always
like,
admire the effort.
the cock crowed. They do crow in the morning. Like, we do get that. But, are you talking about that? I shortly after arose from my bed and, as usual, went to the necessary labors of the day. But in attempting to work at other times, I found my strength so exhausted as to render me entirely unable. My father, who was laboring along with me, discovered something to be wrong with me, and told me to go home. I started with the intention of going to the house, but in attempting to cross the fence out of the field where we were, my strength entirely failed me, and I fell helpless on the ground, and for a time was quite unconscious of anything.
So you know when he said that he arose in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like he's rocking, some morning glory action, I'm sure. The following morning after that, imagine waking up after having that encounter. Because he's what? How old's Joseph Smith right now? He's like 14?
Yeah, so let's see here. This was September 21st, 1823. We'll just go, whoops.
So, I mean, he's arising. He's talking about cocks, and then he's waking up the next morning after a situation like that.
1805. Okay, yeah.
He's a young man. He's a young man.
Oh, young whippersnapper.
Yeah, he's a little hustler. Do you know what he is? Joseph Smith, he's like hustler kid from Recess.
He is the hustler kid from Recess. He's always just kind of like wheeling and dealing.
Dude, all right, this is a little bit of a sidetrack. I was watching Recess the other night because it's amazing. I think if you know the question, if you could have a dinner with like 5 people, dead or alive, fictional, non-fictional, or even if you could design your own friendship group, TJ Detweiler.
Oh, yeah. Oh, numero uno. Him and
Right.
Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Sports.
Yes, those two dudes. Imagine the hijinks.
Oh, man.
And King Bob. I love the fact that there was just a king, and it was so like, yeah, that's the king of the playground.
That is the
Anyway.
playground. That's so awesome.
So we'll keep Recess as a point of reference as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
Okay, so he's feeling so tired. He's feeling so woozy. He's feeling so spent that he is crossing the fence out in the field, and he collapses in exhaustion. And for a time was quite unconscious of anything, allegedly.
For a time, for just a time. It might have been minutes. It could have been hours. It could have been days.
The first thing that I can recollect was a voice speaking unto me, calling me by name. I looked up and beheld the same messenger standing over my head, surrounded by light as before. So, Moroni's back, baby. Fourth time Moroni's
This guy
back.
does not quit. This guy is being
can't stop. They
pushy.
stayed up all night. And I'm starting to think that Moroni maybe has something for Joe.
I mean, he won't leave him alone.
Won't leave him alone.
Just is badgering him 4 times, dude.
So he's surrounded
Pestering,
by light.
Joe,
Yeah,
you're doing it. You're doing it, buddy. You're doing it, Peter.
You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it.
And Rufio from Hook. He would also
Okay,
be
yeah.
in my little... Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then again, related unto me, so he was surrounded by light as before. He then again related unto me all that he had related to me the previous night, and commanded me to go to my father and tell him of the vision and commandments which I had received. So 4 times in the course of an evening, well, night and into the morning, Moroni repeats exactly everything that he said before. Again, algorithm kicking it back up again, but this time, remember, the first 2 times, identical. Third time, rule of theories, subverting expectations. He says everything, but he adds in Satan's going to tempt you, right? But now the algorithm starts to just kick out the same kind of stuff, but slightly variated to where now he's saying all the stuff again, but then now go tell your dad.
Now go tell him. Now, just your dad. Just your dad. You can trust him.
Yep.
Go tell your dad. He'll go down the pub.
Go
He's
down
gonna
the
have
pub.
a few jars of lager. Start spouting shit.
Yeah,
You
it'll
never
be great.
guess what my son found in the garden.
You should have heard what my son Joe just said out there.
He's there. He's at the pub. He's at the tavern. Ye Old Tavern, New
The
York.
old tavern.
He's ordered a plate of chips, and they arrive on a silver plate.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a pretty nice plate.
It's a pretty nice establishment.
You want to see
got
what
going on
my
here.
son minding our here garden? Play me the gold.
Plates made of gold. I obeyed and returned to my father in the field and rehearsed the whole matter to him. He replied to me that it was of God and told me to go and do as commanded by the messenger. So immediately, Joseph Sr., he's bought in. He's like, hey, I know this might be weird, but that is from God. You got to go do that shit, dude. Like,
And you said it was from God, right?
yeah.
That's what you said. You
Well,
said
yeah.
it was from God.
4 times, Dad. 4 times. I just
Okay,
barely passed
right.
out over the fence over there. Did you not see me?
I know, but it's just, Joe, I get that. But what's weird is that you didn't mention this over dinner. This is
It
like...
happened last night and into the morning. Today. That's why I'm
I
coming
haven't-
back from the
Joe-
field. I'm so tired, Dad. Like, you saw
Joe,
me.
I haven't
pass over
even
there.
seen your mum 4 times in the last 24 hours, in the last 12 hours.
That's okay, but I'm letting you know that this guy, he was so... Dad, you should have seen how white he was.
Oh, right, you're right. Okay, yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, exceedingly white. His robes, so white. Whiter than anything on this earth. For sure.
How'd you know he's a king? He's the only one we ain't got shit on him.
He ain't got shit on him. I left the field and went to the place where the messenger had told me the plates were deposited. And owing the distinctness of the vision which I had had concerning it, I knew the place the instant that I had arrived there. So he's like, I knew exactly where it was because of the vision, remember? Yeah. I knew where it was at, okay? Don't even think that I was like, oh, you were wondering where it's at? No, I know where it's at because of the vision, okay? So,
And I
Yeah.
went there. I got the proof. I got the receipts.
yeah.
I got the receipts. I had in a dream or an encounter by a crazy white man, robed, telling me to go here and dig. I did that. I found the thing. Okay.
Dude, you know-
so
you know
far,
this,
this is what I like so much about the Book of Mormon so far. It is the point execution, ramblings in the middle, but well, not ramblings. It's more reinforcing the stuff they've already reinforced.
Yeah, they're reinforcing the reinforcements. And tell you what, if anybody needs reinforcements, it's the reinforcements. Why would you have reinforcements
Got to
without
reinforce your reinforcements. I mean, come on. I mean, the whole thing
That's-
collapses. You need your foundation.
That's simple battle strategy. Like, you have to
It's
reinforce the
simple
reinforcements. Like,
It's simple science. It's a very scientific book we're reading from right now.
exactly. And it's truer than any book on the earth at that time.
That is the crazy. It is the truest.
Yeah.
The truest book ever.
Yeah.
It states it. It states it. It's kind of like how Budweiser is the king of beers.
It is the king of beers. It is the king of
It
beers.
says it on the can.
Dude,
Do I?
you know what this
I
whole
think it is?
testimony, you know what it feels like? It feels like he had a conversation with somebody and he took out everything that they asked and then came up with an answer to it when he couldn't figure it out in the moment. Because the way that it plays is like, I wouldn't even be able to get the plates if he told me I couldn't get rich off them.
So it's like he's almost trying to answer.
He's like trying to
the
like cut
critiques
off your,
already.
Exactly. He's cutting off your questions by explaining what's going on beat for beat.
He's a politician. He's
oh
a
yeah,
politician.
he's got it going on, man. Got it going on. And so like this one here, I obeyed and returned to the father of the field, rehearsed the whole matter. He's like, yeah, it's of God. You got to go. And I remembered where it was because of the vision, right? And then what's next? What's the next question logically? They're like, oh yeah? Well, where is it? Tell us exactly where it is. And he goes, convenient to the village of Manchester, Ontario County, New York. Fucking bam.
Boom. I'll tell you exactly where.
Yeah.
But, all right, we'll go right there right now. No, you can't. You can't. That's where I'm going. Yeah, but you just told us. So what?
Yeah.
Like we could just.
Yeah.
You're only a little blonde kid. We can tie you up and go get these plates and make so much money off them, Joe. Like it's so crazy. Yeah, but you can't because I got. We're
So,
gonna.
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
So he name drops exactly where it's at. Stands on a hill of considerable size and the most elevated of any in the neighborhood. On the west side of this hill, not far from the top, under a stone of considerable size, lay the plates deposited in a stone box.
There must be an area in. It's New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rochester, New York, right?
Manchester.
Manchester. Oh, okay. In the Book of Mormon, he sings Rochester, I thought, but Manchester, New York. I forgot my point. Carry on.
Are you saying that there's like a literal place that exists in
Yeah,
that
that was
spot?
it. Yeah, yeah. There's got to be a place that the Mormons, even like modern day Mormons, have been like. If we just go off the book, it's this area
Yeah. Yeah.
where he would have dug, and this is probably where they were buried.
Yeah. So there is a Hill Cumorah in New York that you can go to. I don't know if it's like a entry, like via membership. I doubt it. They let everybody in.
What? Just for an area where they think the plates were buried?
Hold on. My camera fucking died, dude. I just replaced the
no.
battery out of it. Jesus fucking Christ. We're back online momentarily, folks.
We're gonna cut this. It's gonna be so seamless. If you're watching this and there's been no issues whatsoever so far, this has already happened. But it was to me, and now it's happening to my co-host Chris. First episode. This is gonna happen.
All right. We're solid. So yeah, he named there is a place that you can go that has I don't know if it's like it probably has some sort of like commemorative plaque at the very least. At the very least.
Surely it should be implacked on a golden plate.
It would be.
Surely.
It should be. It totally should be. Why don't they do that? So it's deposited in a stone box. The stone was thick and rounding in the middle on the upper side and thinner towards the edges, so that the middle part of it was visible above the ground, but the edge all around was covered with earth. So it's kind of like a mostly buried coffin. You can kind of think of it like that.
It kind of sounds like in a video game, like the area where to go on and stand and press dig.
Exactly. Yes.
It will be obvious to you.
Yeah, it will light up.
Yeah, it'll light up.
You'll see it.
You'll see it.
Having removed the earth, I obtained a lever, which I got fixed under the edge of the stone, and with a little exertion raised it up. I looked in, and there indeed did I behold the plates, the Urim and Thummim, and the breastplate, as stated by the messenger. Well, hey, howdy, hey. Buried fucking treasure.
Yes. Treasure.
The box in which they lay was formed by laying stones together in some kind of cement. In the bottom of the box were laid 2 stones crossways of the box, and on these stones lay the plates and the other things with them. There they are, the golden plates. I made an attempt to take them out, but was forbidden by the messenger, and was again informed that the time for bringing them forth had not yet arrived, neither would it until 4 years from that time. But he told me that I should come to that place precisely in 1 year from that time, and that he would be there to meet with me, and that I should continue to do so until the time should come for obtaining the plates. So he's like, all right, 4 years from now is when it's going to happen, but every year from now, up until then, we got to meet. Just make sure you know where it's at, dude. Like, I want to make sure that you know that this is very important work. It regards the end of the world, but I know that it would seem kind of pressing that like the end of the world stuff would need to be solved as quick as possible, but it's not. The time's not yet. Like I explained that earlier.
It's not now.
I explained that.
Right now, get your bearings.
And
Right.
if you remember, Joe, listen, if you remember the conversations that we had, okay, I mentioned this. Let's see. Accordingly, as I had been commanded, I went at the end of each year, and at each time I found the same messenger there, and received instruction and intelligence from him at each of our interviews, respecting what the Lord was going to do, and how and in what manner his kingdom was to be conducted in the last days. So these yearly meetups with Moroni and Joe is like Moroni giving him the debrief on the mission, right? He's got to get trained up. This is Dagobah. These 4 years, that's the training period, because Joe's like, I couldn't get him out of the ground when I found him and bring him to you to show you because the time was not yet ready. So that's why.
They weren't cooked yet.
Yeah, you gotta keep them in this. You gotta keep them in the steam box. Al dente, Moroni. You should know this.
They were incubating. Hey.
Let's see. At the length of time arrived for obtaining the plates, the Urim and Thummim, and the breastplate. On the 22nd day of September, 1827, so 1827, having gone as usual at the end of another year to the place where they were deposited, the same heavenly messenger delivered them up to me with this charge, that I should be responsible for them, that if I should let them go off carelessly or through any neglect of mine, I should be cut off, but that if I would use all my endeavors to preserve them until he, the messenger, should call for them, they should be protected. So this is like the plates, the Urim and Thummim, all this stuff in the box. This is Obi-Wan passing the lightsaber. Like, this is your responsibility. Like,
Your father wanted you to have this.
exactly. I soon found out the reason why I had received such strict charges to keep them safe, and why it was the messenger had said that when I had done what was required at my hand, he would call for them. Oh. It's just the way these are written is just so tough. For no sooner was it known that I had them than the most strenuous exertions were used to get them from me. Every stratagem that could be conceived was resorted to for that purpose. Stratagem.
He's just so desperately trying to portray how intelligent he is.
Yeah.
He's not doing a great job.
And tell you what, he's convincing me.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced.
I'm
there was never a
feeling
time I wasn't.
I'm
not even convinced. I knew in my holiest of holy holes.
In the holiest of my holes.
In the holiest of holes.
The persecution became more bitter and severe than before, and multitudes were on the alert continually to get them from me if possible. But by the wisdom of God they remained safe in my hands until I had accomplished by them what was required at my hand, when, according to arguments, the messenger called for them. I delivered them up to him, and he has them in his charge until this day, being the 2nd day of May, 1838.
It's given timestamps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least it's given exact dates.
And when you think about timestamps and keeping receipts, that's the language that we use for today. But in 1823 and 1830, like in the 1820s to 40s, that is as good as that gets, right? Like,
yeah.
Why would he spend all that time writing it down if he didn't mean it?
It was documented.
It was It was on paper.
Yeah. Pen to paper. Someone put that there.
On paper, that means it is.
It is.
It is.
It is.
And so he had accomplished everything, and that's where he was saying is that, and he has them in his charge until this day. So Moroni has the plate, and he has them. I've done my work, and that's why I can't show them to you, because they already gone out. So, for a more complete account, see Joseph Smith History in the Pearl of Great Price. Or you could just listen to us. So
yeah, that's what you want to hear. Your boys.
Absolutely. You can check it out in the Pearl of Great Price if you want to. The ancient record thus brought forth from the earth as the voice of a people speaking from the dust and translated into modern speech by the gift and power of God as attested by divine affirmation was first published to the world in the year 1830 as the Book of Mormon.
Mormon.
All right. The last thing that we have before we actually get into the words of these ancient prophets.
We're still not there.
We're still not there. We got to have
still introduction.
We're still in the introduction.
We haven't even got chapter 1.
Listen, if you thought that I wasn't about to give you a brief explanation about the Book of Mormon, think again.
Strap in.
The Book of Mormon is a sacred record of people in the ancient America and was engraved upon metal plates. Sources from which this record was compiled include the following. So, citing their sources. Every good introduction always needs a bibliography. You have to cite your sources in the intro. You have to. Right? I don't know if this is, American or APA format at all or whatever, but we'll see. So these are the sources. The plates of Nephi, which were of two kinds, the small plates and the large plates. The former were more particularly devoted to spiritual matters and the ministry of teachings of the prophets, while the latter were occupied mostly by a secular history of the peoples concerned, of the peoples concerned in 1 Nephi 9 through 24, which we'll get to. From the time of Mosiah, however, the large plates were also included items of major spiritual importance. So we'll go through all of these, and these are basically these are the plates subjugated into kind of what the Book of Mormon makes up, or these make up the Book of Mormon rather. So
right now we're reading a menu.
kind of
To a
you
all-you-can-eat
kind of
buffet.
think of these like this right here is okay. So you have the plates, the big stack.
Yep.
And this stack is colored, slightly green, and this one's slightly blue, and this one's slightly red, and these are the various plates in which these books are. The Plates of Mormon, which consist of an abridgment which consist of an abridgment by Mormon from the large plates of Nephi, with many commentaries. These plates also contain a continuation of the history of Mormon and additions by his son Moroni, which we've seen. The Plates of Ether, which present a history of the Jaredites. This record was abridged by Moroni, who inserted comments of his own and incorporated the record with the general history under the title The Book of Ether. The Plates of Brass, brought by the people of Lehi from Jerusalem in 1600 BC. These contained the 5 books of Moses, and also a record of the Jews from the beginning, down to the commencement of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, and also of the prophecies of holy prophets. Many quotations from these plates, citing Isaiah and other biblical and non-biblical prophets, appear in the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon comprises 15 main parts or divisions known, with one exception, as books, usually designated by the name of their principal author. So that's what the Book of Nephi means. It's like the Book of Nephi was written by Nephi.
Far, I do feel like it's similar to when I started watching Game of Thrones, where I was like, there are so many names, ridiculous names,
Yeah.
that almost
This
sound
is-
similar.
This is like that, very much so.
Cool.
The first portion, the first 6 books ending with Omni, is a translation of all from the small plates of Nephi. Between the books of Omni and Mosiah is an insert called the Words of Mormon. This insert connects the record engraved on the small plates with Mormon's abridgment of the large plates. So you're getting abridgments, you're getting condensing. Here's the thing. We're going to tell you the story. We're going to condense it. And we're going to tell you we're going to condense it by condensing that and condensing it so you understand what we're condensing.
And then
also
we're going
that.
to tell you what it was that we condensed
Exactly.
after.
Yes. No, you got it.
Just so we're on the exact same page.
Yes. Same exact page.
Very clear.
The longest portion from Mosiah through Mormon, chapter 7, is a translation of Mormon's abridgment of the large plates of Nephi. The concluding portion, from Mormon chapter 8 to the end of the volume, was engraved by Mormon's son Moroni, who, after finishing the record of his father's life, made an abridgment of the Jaredite record, as the Book of Ether, and later added parts known as the Book of Moroni. Yeah. So I got people writing stuff. We got people writing stuff, Phrase, and you're going to read it. You're going to get into it.
People are
You're
going to
gonna
be
ask-
writing stuff, and we're going to be reading what they wrote.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this part, I've gathered that. That's been clear.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not going to be the last time they let me know that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Just to let you know, like there are, there's going to be people telling you stuff. Words will be read.
Words will be said. Some good words, some bad words, some questionable words, some sexy words. And
Like
maybe the
cock.
odd rude word like cock.
In or about the year AD 421, timestamp, Moroni, the last of
420.
the 421.
Hell yeah, let's
Just
go
about.
there.
Just about the year off. Moroni, the last of the Nephite prophet historians, sealed the sacred record and hid it up unto the Lord, to be brought forth in the latter days, as predicted by the voice of God through his ancient prophets. In AD 1823, the same Moroni, then a resurrected personage, visited the prophet Joseph Smith and subsequently delivered the engraved plates to him about this edition. So this is something that is new. This is something that is added on to the website here. The original title page immediately preceding the contents page is taken from the plates and is part of the sacred text. Introductions in a non-talic typeface, such as in Nephi. Okay, so what they're saying here is that like you're going to see some things on the script that like reference other parts of itself. Yeah.
I like how they're even warning. Even the Mormons are going, you're gonna hear
see
the
that.
same thing.
Yeah, because like right here, this parenthetical of like 1 Nephi 5:11 through 23, that's not like what was in the Book of Mormon when Joseph Smith was engraving and translating. It's just we have like what Mormons are doing here is like we've done the work for you. We've done the referential, we've done the cross referencing. Don't sweat it, right? We've done the work to make sure that you understand the full
We
scope
fact
of
checked
this
it.
word. Yes,
it
exactly.
came back clean.
Exactly. So when you see that there throughout the book, that's what they're trying to refer to. So that way they don't get you confused. Introductions in italics, such as in chapter headings, are not original to the text, but are study helps included for convenience in reading. Some minor errors in the text have been perpetuated in past editions of the Book of Mormon. This edition contains corrections that seem appropriate to bring the material into conformity with pre-publication manuscripts and early editions edited by the prophet Joseph Smith. Very interesting last thing there before we roll into it. It's like some minor errors, okay? We've had some bits that perpetuated in the past, but we're gonna make sure this is the one. This is the director's cut of Blade Runner here.
So, well, that's good. That's the best version.
Yeah.
So, well, I think so is that the introductions out the way?
That is the introductions. And
Right,
before
okay, so
we end the episode, what are your thoughts so far? I'm curious.
oh my god, it's so wordy.
It's already so
Of course it's
wordy.
going to be. Of course it's going to be. I didn't think about that aspect of it. I didn't think the introduction was going to be so, hey, this is the introduction and we are introducing to you what's going to happen. But right now, let's just lay some. Do you know what it is? It kind of feels like someone who, when someone's just like trying to sell you like a broken car or just something where they're just kind of trying to lay a little bit of lower some expectations.
Yeah, they want to save you from feeling bummed.
Yeah, don't get too, but like work through. It's gonna be some effort.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some effort. I'm feeling that right now. We haven't even started chapter 1.
We haven't even started chapter 1.
But here's the thing. I don't know how long we've been recording for because we had to stop because we had a battery issue. But it's been about an hour and a half, probably. And from what I've gathered, Angel Moroni saw Joseph Smith, told him where the plates are, go here, dig them up, and we've just got the testimonials from people that have seen the plates. So, and we all together, we had, 11? There was 8, yeah.
Well, including
11 people have
Joseph
seen
Smith,
it.
12. So, we have the 12.
We're not going to draw direct comparisons.
Why would we? That's
would we?
That's not the point of this podcast. Come on.
No, this is just nothing but love and appreciation, and in a little bit of selfishness, hoping that we might get into heaven someday.
That's true.
Because
this is us
that
swinging
ain't
for
happening.
it. That's the fence we're swinging for, I would say.
Yeah, that's just in case,
Why not? Like, if you're going to step up to the plate, why not swing for the fence?
Why not let it be gold? Why not go for the fence? Why, when you can just go to your own back garden and dig? Or I don't know. I'm hoping that at some point with us reading the Book of Mormon, I will feel it.
And you will.
That's what I'm hoping. I don't know what
it laid
that
it out
is.
for us. It said you have to ask in faith.
It's been laid out. I'm asking in faith, and I feel like the words. Maybe tonight when I'm sleeping, I'm digesting this introduction.
Yeah.
Maybe it make way into my sleeps. I think by the end of it, they might make a Mormon out of me.
They might make a Mormon out of you.
Yeah. You already tried and failed, so I just got to beat you now.
Yep. No, I tried to do whatever I could with the awesome investment opportunities, but
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was introduction to the Book of Mormon.
episode. Is there a different word for zero in Britain as opposed to the UK or as opposed to the US? I mean,
Nil.
nil. Oh
Like
yeah,
you
you guys
score
say
1-0.
nil. Episode nil.
Nil. Zilch. Diddly.
Diddly.
Episode
Oh, it's
diddly.
nil. That's probably the most British version of zero. Is
Episode
nil.
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 Episode nil. Nothing.
Episode nil in the books, folks. We did
In
it.
the books. And yeah, we are. You might think, oh, but they're not going to read every single chapter, every single chapter.
We are going to read it word for word. And
Yep.
like I said, there's 238 or 39 chapters in this. There are some hefty ones. There's some short ones. You're going to see episode lengths from an hour and a half to 15 minutes, not even.
15 minutes.
And it's going to be a great time because we have someone who's never read it before. And it's going to
Never
be
read.
first reactions to what some people can consider a sacred text. So,
And two of them are on this podcast right now.
exactly. Sacred to us.
Sacred to us.
Sacred to
And,
us. For sure.
Yeah, and the world. But yeah, thank you for stopping by and listening to that with us, reading along. Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling excited. Yeah, looking forward to this journey.
It's going to be great. Toodle-oodle, folks.
Bye-bye.